Good afternoon from Gangneung, Republic of Korea. Saturday afternoon here in Gangneung. The food market's getting ready for the weekend customers. East coast of Korea, beautiful sunshine, late autumn. Colors on display here in Gangneung. 9 months ago, the Olympic Games were here at this venue, the Gangneung Curling Center. And our feature match today in the Pacific Asia Curling Championships gold medal game. The men's competition, it's Japan facing China. Moving inside the Gangneung Curling Center, I'm Hans Frauenlove. I'm joined by Olympic curling champion Rona Howie. Good afternoon to you, Rona.
Good afternoon, Hans.
This figures to be an outstanding game. Two very evenly matched teams.
Yeah, really looking forward to this gold medal game. Both teams have played so well all week, and certainly I think their form will continue today.
And let's meet the athletes as they enter the arena for this gold medal game. And that's what we're playing for. The right to call yourself the Pacific Asia Men's Curling Champion. Lots of support here in the Gangneung Curling Center for both teams. Some of the China supporters. Here's Team Japan. At lead is Shinya Abe. Yasumasa Tanida is at second stone. Tetsuro Shimizu is at third. And the skip for Team Japan is Yuta Matsumura. They are facing Team China. Jiang Dongju is at lead. Xiao Jilin is at second. Wang Jiyu is at third. And China is skipped by Shou Jiao. Here's how it played out in the round-robin phase. China went through unbeaten 8-0. Japan, New Zealand, and Korea also qualified for the playoffs. Chinese Taipei, Hong Kong, Australia, Kazakhstan, and Qatar rounded out the men's field. That took us into the final four. China defeated Korea in one semi to advance to the gold medal game. Japan defeated New Zealand. So it will be Japan facing China for the gold medal. Two really evenly matched teams. Rona, two teams that like to mix it up as well, so it should be pretty entertaining.
Yeah, definitely in for an afternoon of enjoyable curling. Lots of stones in play.
Teams taking their practice slides. If you were with us earlier today for the women's gold medal game, that was a stunner of a game. Host nation Korea upsetting Japan to claim the gold medal. So let's see if the men can put on a similar quality show in this gold medal game. China will have last rock advantage in the first end by virtue of the higher ranking. Japan will be playing the red stones and China will be playing the yellow stones. Shinya Abe of Japan gets us underway in the men's gold medal game. Japan throwing a guard. Jiang Dongju. One characteristic of Team China, always active with the brushes. Really strong sweeping team. Wang and Xiao working that one into the top ring.
Yeah, it might just be slightly slower down that side at the first end.
Shinya Abe, the veteran in this team. He skipped a lot himself. He will call the line on the skip stones or the fourth stones of Matsumura. Very involved in the strategy. Removes the Chinese stone, rolls away just off the rings. Jiang Dongzhu.
6、7，稍微等一等，这个线大，7、7、8，这连带就行，这连带就行，这个线大，7后边，7、8后边稍微擦一擦，这里后边，结束了，后边，再擦，再来，6，再来，我打哪个？
Just biting the 12-foot circle. It is open. Yasumasa Tanida. Looking for a little inside roll. Nice shot. Just board weight there, Rona. Just that control down weight.
Yeah, just trying to get a roll, get some action off the stone.
Xiao Shilin.
Still
Catching his
recovering from his sweep. As you say, they do a lot of sweeping in a game.
Sure do.
They thought about drawing round, but now decided just to remove this counter. 'Cause it is biting the rings.
Out turn down weight hit for Xiao. Makes the hit. Just enough weight to push the Japanese stone through the rings.
So now it gives Japan the opportunity to come round this guard, and I think that's why China were looking at coming round it first, because they knew Japan were going to do this.
Tanida around to the in-turn side, looking to duck behind cover. Big sweep from Abe and Shimizu. This one's going to be just a bit light. Here are the rules of play. We're playing the 5 rock free guard zone rule. 8 ends minimum, but 10 ends are scheduled. Each team has 38 minutes of thinking time. Each team has 1 60-second timeout. The stone also over curling. In fact, might bump the Japanese stone into the rings. Yes, it does. As Matsumura alertly jumps up to sweep his own stone forward.
That was a big misread there to not just rub the guard, but actually tap it back.
One characteristic of the ice conditions, which have been excellent all week, is draw weight. You always know it's going to curl hard at the end. Tetsuro Shimizu. The distinctive style of Shimizu. If he looks familiar to your curling fans, it's probably because Shimizu was the longtime third player for Yusuke Morozumi and Team Morozumi from Japan. This year part of a new combination and fitting in very well indeed. Top 4 foot, great shot. And there you see Tsuyoshi Yamaguchi, Tetsuro Shimizu, Kosuke Morozumi. They have been champions of this event, 2016. Wang Shiyu.
hard, go hard.
Run back.
Great shot.
Yeah.
Kills the Japanese stone, stuffs it, and leaves his own stone half behind cover. Very nice shot by Wang Xiyu.
He skipped the Chinese junior team in Aberdeen earlier this year at the World Juniors.
So Chiao reading the line, and great result. Moves both Japanese rocks. Leaves himself behind cover. Great shot.
結構ギリではある。フリーズでもいいと思うけど。
Tetsuro Shimizu.
多分フリーズ感じだとちょっと押しちゃう感じになるかな。
And that shot of Wang's really changes this end around. China's got last rock, remember, here in the first.
押しても。6、7。It's good. T-line. T-line. Line's good. Line だけ。もうちょい。
Need this to Caro. It's hanging on the guard right now.
It's starting to make a move now. It's just a question of the weight. Just wiggles it by. Yes. Oh, look how much that curled in the end.
Great shot.
Terrific. Tetsuro Shimizu.
Just as well, he didn't need the sweepers there for weight because they couldn't touch it at all.
Very nearly wrecked on that yellow center guard. Wang Xiyu letting Zhou Xiao know what he can see from the delivery end.
可以稍微磕一点。粘也可以。我不能粘动。来，他那个15秒3。OK。
As well as the juniors this year in Scotland, he also played in the juniors here the year before in Pyeongchang.
Oh, interesting. So
Because it's a test event for the Olympics.
right.
So he's used to this venue.
Yes. Familiar territory for Wang Xiyu.
Oh, he's
This one.
definitely got the high line here.
Yes, tracking a bit wide. I don't think he's going to wiggle by the guard. No. Just rubs it. Spills onto the rings. And by repositioning that guard, makes the path a little bit wider for Matsumura. Shinya Abe, the lead player, but holds the target line on the last rocks of the end. That's what Yuta Matsumura will be able to see. Just see a corner of that red stone in the front forefoot. Yuta Matsumura.
Back full. Back full.
Left-handed player, so this is his out turn. Clockwise rotation.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Looking just to freeze on top of his own red.
Yes.
Parks it squarely on top. So China lying one, but the Japanese stones in front of it, very threatening. Lots of ways for Japan to run stones in and move their two red rocks around and pop the Chinese stone out of there. So Jiao. Chinese skip. Look how much ice he's taking, Rona.
It's a lot of ice. He knows it's going to curl big at the end. He wants to come round on the outside so that if there's any of the stone showing, he's not going to leave a double. Because if he came round the centre, he might just stick out a wee bit and then leave a hit and roll.
So Jiao.
停带就行，这里力量。接 OK。6、7、6。可点小。
He played third in Las Vegas this year at the World Men's Championships.
Yes, he did.
Well, this is looking nice. He's got good line.
Looking for a second shot, and he's got it. Terrific draw.
Fantastic shot.
Fully buried. China lies 1-2. So early up, a big gambling shot potentially here for Japan.
黄色の方はパッと1個ぐらいは見える。ここは？うん、それは見える。
If they wanted to make a play on those two red stones in the front 8-foot, they would really have to shave that red guard there. You can just see a tiny corner of it. If you ever blew it by, you'd give China a draw for 3.
Wow, he can't see much of that from
No,
that.
just the tiniest corner.
It's all he needs to actually hit is what he can see, but my goodness, it's tight past the
That
guard.
would be a big gamble, wouldn't it?
Because he could lie 3 if he...
If he did play that shot and make it, you're right.
Yes.
There you see it. Just a corner of that red available. We don't think he's playing at that shot, though. We think he's going to be playing towards the stone that Zhou Qiao just drew.
Yeah, because he's coming out the left-hand tack, so
That's
he can
true.
see even less of it.
That's true, too. That's a big factor. Well spotted, Rona.
Back right. Green. Back right. Green. ちょっと遅いよ。Green. Yes.
He's looking just to bump this back.
Looking
Get
for
a
that
roll.
roll. Trying to get some cover.
What a
Oh,
shot.
what an excellent shot by Yuta Matsumura. Terrific line read by Shinya Abe, judging the roll perfectly. Great shot. Cool customer, Yuta Matsumura. And there's Shinya Abe, great line read. Let's have another look.
Just enough weight to tap it to back 12. But it was the roll that they were looking for. Fantastic.
Well judged as well by Tanita on the roll. Watch Tanita sweep this stone across, and then right here he just stops. Just in time to leave Japan lying 1. What a fantastic team shot.
China were lying well as well with 2 split across the 4-foot.
Oh yeah.
They must have thought they were looking good for their 2 at this
Absolutely.
end, and all of a sudden they've got a difficult shot for 1.
这边。
Zhou Qiao lining it up.
这边很薄，我怕这一球走不动多少。我看看啊，磕不着他，我怕。那就打那个。哪个？这个吗？踏板。咱这个黄的没问题吧？没问题。踏板打1/3。长线。长线。OK。
Well, what's the play going to be? Is it going to be yellow, red, red, red tap?
1/3。一半都可以。
It does look like he's going to try to angle raise the yellow front stone. Zhou Qiao in the hack, lining this one up. Has to move that back red stone out of the back 4 if we think it's yellow onto red, onto red, onto yellow, onto red.
He's not playing a big weight at it. It's really just a tap weight.
Only has to move the Japanese stone maybe an inch. Yellow, red, and across the top. So it is a steal of 1 for Japan. Needed a bit more contact on that top stone to get the angles. Came across the top, so after 1 end of play, Japan with the steal in 1 on that fantastic final stone by Matsumura. They lead it 1-0 after 1.
と早いな。ちょっと早そう。吐きたくないわ。
ラインはいい
抜
感じ
けちゃうかも。
あ、早いわ。
抜けちゃいそう。止まってはきてる。ああ、止まってはきてるな。
ラインはいい感じ、ウエイトだけ。もうちょいタイト思います。ですですですですですですですですですです。使ってない大丈夫ですか。何秒？15.3。
Welcome back. We're live at the Gangneung Curling Center, the Olympic venue. It's the men's gold medal game, the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. Women's gold medal game was an absolute barn burner between Korea and Japan, and this men's gold medal game showing similar tendencies. A fantastic first end. China had something going. Yuta Matsumura making a fantastic little downweight hit and roll to set up a steal. China will have last rock here in the second. Shinya Abe. From a curling family. His father also represented Japan.
2-3だね。ラインは悪くないよ。ラインはいい感じ。ラインはいい感じ。ラインはいい感じ。
ちょっと近いわ、近い。
近いならゴーだ。最後もう一曲がり欲しいから。
He was born in Nagano, which was where the first showing of curling at an Olympic Games took place in 1998.
Yeah. Came back on the Olympic program in 1998 after a really long absence, like 1924, I think. Curling first made its appearance in the Olympics, but yes, back on the program in 1998 in Nagano. And it was terrific to see the response of Japan, their men's team in that competition, who were skipped by Makoto Saruga, got themselves into a tiebreaker, and all of a sudden the entire country of Japan was into curling. It was great to see. That competition was in Karizawa. Karizawa. One of the places in the world that has hosted events in both the Summer and the Winter Olympics. Beijing is about to become another one of those cities in 4 years' time. Equestrian events were held in Karizawa during the Tokyo Olympics in 1964. Yasumasa Tanida.
Good draw around the corner guard there from China, but it is just back tee. Allows Japan the chance just to come and freeze on top.
Oh,
lovely.
Cold with no brushing at all. Brendan Liu of Chinese Taipei referred to a sweeper-friendly shot earlier in the week, so we've been using that phrase a lot. That was pretty sweeper-friendly, not much brushing required.
Yep, sweepers like them every so often.
It has been a long week. It's been a full round robin and a playoff game, but these athletes are very fit, and front-end players in particular will say, yeah, throw it to me. I'll sweep all of them all day. That's what I'm here for. Just a little nudge. Not a perfect angle, a very good shot, but maybe a chance for Japan to squeeze them out. There we see the coach's bench. Chinese coach is on the right of our picture. Japanese coach is on the left. And there's Japanese head coach Bob Ursel. World junior champion in 1985, curling in his native Canada. Here's Tanida. Big rotation on that release.
I want to try and get the inside of this, so it's got to be tight past the guard.
It's going to be tight past the guard, all right. Are they by just? Wow, picks it clean.
Well swept.
There's the Chinese bench, and there's Chinese head coach Zhang Shiping, kind of keeping score, saying that was a pretty good one. Stopwatch in hand, tablet computer in front of him, all the tools of the trade.
Okay.
Yeah, good
Missing
for
the coffee cup
analysis.
and the donut.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh. There's a violation. We'll just check the top of that stone. Yes, the lights are flashing red. That's the automatic hogline detector. That means the player made contact with the handle of the stone after it reached that near red hogline. That's a violation, and the stone comes immediately out of play. Let's watch this release, Rona.
So he does let it go over the hog line.
Just
He
that
started to
little double touch there.
Yeah. Well, he started to let it go, but didn't completely let it go until he was over the hog.
And you see the lights flashing green for Tetsuro Shimizu. That indicates a legal throw.
Yes. Wait up. Yes. 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 Yes.
Trying to come right round the whole lot into the 4 foot, but just catches the top one. Bit shy of weight.
Japan lying 3. China with last rock here on end number 2.
这边俩，头攻一下，差不多，能甩一点，大力，大力，
It's the gold medal game.
这边，得打一半吗？得打一大
China
半。
know that centre guard is going to be a danger zone for them, so let's remove it now.
Wang Shiyu,
往后，二
big weight.
二没上来啊，二，
Kills 2.
OK，
Yeah,
Spills across.
good result.
Yeah, nice shot.
刘，再有力吗？没有，再。
There's Wang. A player with a real future in this Chinese program. Tetsuro Shimizu. Very forward in his delivery, toe slider. Not quite the Manitoba tuck, but kind of getting in that neighborhood.
And he's got a very straight arm when he comes out, and then he bends his elbow as he's sliding to give him momentum. So it's an interesting delivery.
Bob Ursel, a Manitoba boy. The coach. Shimizu had that delivery style long before Bob Ursel appeared on the scene. A corner hidden behind the front stone for Japan, but a path to it for China. Wang Xiu, in contrast to Shimizu, flat-footed delivery.
6、7、6、5、6、0、6、下楼 K， 下楼非常好，有力量，7、8、7、8的，哥，往后，哥，7，哥，9、往后，7区8区，往后，wow.
Just a fraction warm. 3 feet heavier than they would have liked. Pops off the Japanese stone, sits in the open. Tetsuro makes his way down to throw the stone. You hear him say bumper. That's the weight he wants to throw. Some of the fans in the background here at the Gangneung Curling Center looking very much as it did during the Olympic Games. Beautiful building. Ideal venue for curling. Made a terrific little downweight hit and roll in the first end to set up the steal. Trying to get a little flop here. And there's another little roll.
Ah, great shot.
Terrific control there by Yuta Matsumura.
The only downside for Japan is that they are back tee. So it is a benefit now for China to come in and freeze on top. But it was a well executed shot there.
Yeah, very nice. There is an opportunity for Zhou Jiao to corner freeze or half freeze on the stone that Matsumura just delivered, and that might set up a deuce. Great looking line. Oh, that's pretty good. I would say that the Chinese are shot.
Oh, I don't
Pretty
know.
close.
That's close.
Got
Oh,
some
nice headgear.
Pikachu. Pikachu's in the house.
Oh, he pulled the sides.
The ears go up and down too.
I
That's
want one of
awesome.
them.
Get your Christmas shopping done early, folks.
ショックだったら本当素だねこんなもん。
相当薄い。前からは？
こっちはありだと思う。
This is a great shot.
しっかり出しに行
Yeah,
ってもいい。
Japan could sort of say, well,
どうせあっ
okay,
ちこれ後ろ
I'll
の
force them to take their one. But where would he put his counter?
Yeah, if you're feeling frisky, you could run back that front stone, straight back, pick off the yellow. There is a big risk of a jam, though, if you're a bit wide. But it looks like he wants to play it.
He's also got that safety net that if he does clear them all, they're lying shot over in the wing.
That's
If
right.
all of these come out, he's got that red out behind the guard. So he has got a safety net if this does go slightly wrong.
There on the left-hand side of our picture, you can see that red Japanese stone corner frozen behind the corner guard, so Rona's right. The angles aren't great. Still a chance for Japan to be lying one. But if he's a little bit wide, there is a big risk of a jam.
いいよ。ちょっと押したいよ。おお。
Not laying a brush to it yet. Bit of danger.
出る？
Does hit it wide, and he does jam. That was the risk in that shot. A little bit full. Have a look on the replay. There you can see the line. He was trying to get right to the nose of that front stone, but he hits it 2/3 on the outside, goes across the top of the Chinese stone. It jams, and it's a draw for 2. Zhou Jiao just needs half of the 8-foot circle to put China in front.
Yeah, Japan could have put one up front ring there and just said, okay, we don't really know who's lying shot, but you try and draw for 2 round me. Make it harder for China.
Have a look at the split time between the two hog lines. Probably looking for something in about the 14-8 range for T-line. It's been very quick this week. Sweeper's really working it now. 15-3. Gives you an idea how quick this ice is. Easily into the 4-foot circle, right to the T-line. That's a pair for China. They answer back after dropping a steal in the first with a great corner draw and then forcing the miss, capitalizing with the draw for 2, and China leads it 2-1 after 2.
15秒8。我那个
第一个1-2的15秒7几。15秒7几。
那你现在应该是非常非常好。
这个早いのね。
我这个多交流啊。下来。
下位。打。
3，点上制领带，制领带，制领带就行。感觉越高。
Welcome back. We're live at the Gangneung Curling Center, the Olympic curling venue for the Pyeongchang Winter Olympic Games. It's the men's gold medal game at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships, Japan versus China. Japan stole one in the first. China bounced back with a deuce in the second. Japan has hammer here in the third. Shinya Abe.
Yes. Yes.
1998 Winter Olympics in Japan. So curling come back onto the Olympic program. Of course, the next Winter Olympics will be in China, in Beijing. For those of you that remember the Beijing Summer Olympics and are fans of swimming and remember the Water Cube Arena, that will be the curling venue for the Beijing Winter Olympics. They are converting it into an ice facility, and it'll be the Ice Cube.
Well, hopefully the water is frozen and
Frozen
we do
water.
get some curling ice.
Pretty essential for our sport. Big brush here by Team China. Wrap it half around that center guard.
Japan could have put up a corner when they've got last stone here, but they decided to come round that centre. Now they're going to draw at the wing, just try and keep things simple.
Shinya Abe. You just get the feeling, Rona, no matter if they want to keep it simple or not, Team China love to mix it up around guards. Every end we've had lots of interesting and intriguing angles and rocks in play. Just gets by that center guard.
So just going to take it right back.
Gives you an idea of how much curl there is in the ice. He almost hit that center guard. Curled another 3.5 feet. Watch how close it comes to the center guard. A little spark. And the big finish. Xiao Shilin. Not touching this one. Is it going to stick around? Yes, it does. Nice shot.
Yeah, Japan could freeze that. Yeah. To cause a wee bit of problem for China. They want to try and give China harder shots to play. Degree of difficulty up, they may make an error.
Yasumasa Tanida will play the freeze. Try to draw down in front of that Chinese stone. Good looking line, doesn't really want to bump it, but he is. Pushes it back about 1.5 feet, 2 feet. In addition to playing for the gold medal, these teams have both done a service to their respective countries because they have qualified their member associations directly into the World Men's Curling Championships. So there will be a Team China and a Team Japan at that event. This stone over curling just clips the stone, nearly missed.
Just nicks it out without jamming.
Big work here from Wang and Jiang trying to hold the line. Just nicks it out. Thank you, sweepers. World Men's will be in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada in early April. Familiar territory to many curling people.
Indeed. After last year's big event in Las Vegas.
That's true. Las Vegas to Lethbridge. Better weight that time, but it slightly over curls for the freeze. Lethbridge recently hosted the World Mixed Doubles and World Senior Curling Championships. There you see those stones. Tiny little air gap between them. As close as you can get to full contact.
Yeah, but the Chinese Yellowstone at the top 12 is out counting that one at the back.
Right.
So it gives China the chance to come right round now into the 4 foot. We saw it 2 ends ago coming down here that they drew beautifully into the 4 foot.
Wang Xiyu.
5区，下路非常好，使力量，2格林，
Xiao Jiang really working it. It's going to over curl.
Just light of weight as well.
That's true. That little extra bit of weight would have kept the line straighter. So Xiao thinking we're in a bit of trouble here. Those are overlapped now.
They could just still draw to that wing and freeze the pair at the back. They would lie 2. But the draw around the centre is still there for China. Japan will say, well, do you know what? I'll leave you that. You make it.
Characteristic extended arm delivery of Tetsuro Shimizu. Japan sticking with the plan. They've been trying to get one out on the wing here for most of the end. Once again, they don't want to bump, but this one has got a little extra weight. Might bump and sit in front. Just spilled a bit too much.
They do lie 2 though, so that was the primary goal.
你就蹲这儿来，球你那球都出不去。
So it brings China's attention back to this side.
Yes. Look
Rather
over
than
here. Look
coming
over
round.
here. Don't look at that stone on the button. Wang Xiyu going through his pre-shot routine. Big weight. Gets it in the pocket, springs himself forward. Very nice shot. Now all of a sudden that Japanese stone in the ring is looking a bit lonely. Japan's got last rock. They have shot rock. Once more into the breach for Team Japan. 4th time lucky. We're going to make this freeze one way or the other.
Same way. Same way.
It is an interesting release because his arm's so straight. When he does actually bend it to give extension at the end,
Yep.
the stone's not actually under a specific left or right eye dominant. It's more nose dominant.
Yes. Better stone there from Shimizu. Still a fraction heavy, but Japan lies 2. And now the gear shift. Rona's mentioned it earlier in the end. There's always the chance that China could just go around the center into the 4 foot, and that will be the play. Trying to go right for that white button area behind the red rock in the top of the 4 foot.
And he knows if he makes this perfectly and can be top tee, it's going to be very difficult for Japan because of the staggered guards.
So Chiao perhaps cagily saving this shot for his own stones of the end, having a go right now. Switching now. Now sweeping for curl. Great looking shot if they can get it there.
Oh, great effort.
Appreciative Chinese fans supporting their team. Half a round, maybe 3 inches from perfection, but they are shot rock. And they are at least 3/4 buried. Terrific shot.
Yeah, just asking players up front end what they can see from the hack.
What
Because
can you
remember,
see?
he is a left-hander, so he's coming out the left-hand hack, which favours him on this side.
It's true. A little bit better path as Wang and Cho look on.
出し切らないとさ、あんまり意味がなくなっちゃうからっていう。ロールは狙わしてもいい気もするけどね。
Probably see about 1/4 of this from the delivery end, but as Rona points out, being the left-hander, there's a great look. He's coming at it from the left-hand hack, so for Yuta, he will see a bit more than a right-hander would in this situation, because he's sliding from the left-hand hack. And there's the left-hand hack. You can see one of 2 left-handed players in the men's event. Being a lefty coming in handy in this situation.
He's played a nice control weight. If it gets a bit of curl at the end.
He's got a piece. And he pushes the Chinese stone back into 3rd shot position. That's a very nice stone from Yuta Matsumura. Couldn't do much better than that. Sweeping for the last little bit of curl, just hits enough of the Chinese stone to push it into the back 12 foot. Great
Yeah,
shot.
because a lot of teams would play just a big weight pick out at that stone because they could see part of it.
Right.
But he plays a lovely controlled tap back weight.
Teams in the Japanese program really do favor that. Satsuki Fujisawa's Japanese women's team similar. They love playing just that hack weight, board weight. They think they can do more with the brushes.
Yeah. Especially on big swinging ice like this. It's
Yes. This ice tailor-made for that type of approach.
However, China know this line. Can they make it better?
Xiao and Jiang are worried about the weight. They were on it pretty much the whole trip. They're trying to hold them a little bit off for line. This one's deeper than the first one. Is he going to wrap it around this time? Xiao trying to sweep it for line, and that's a pretty good shot. Comes to the back of the 4 foot.
Yeah, that's completely buried. You can't see any of that from the hack.
Matsumura will have to pretty much duplicate the shot that Cho just threw.
He'll just want an ounce of running on his to try and tap it back for 2. He only needs to move it a couple of inches for 2. But that's a shot where you can use your sweepers. You just want to play dead weight and let them sweep it.
Matsumura preparing there. You see perfectly buried. But if Yuta Matsumura can come down a similar track that Sol Xiao did, Tanida and Shimizu may be able to sweep for that tiny bump to maybe score 2. Final stone. Then number 3 in this men's gold medal game.
He's played a bit more weight than...
Now it's for line. They're by. Great shot. And Japan scores 2. Precision curling from both teams. Fantastic play here at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. Yuta Matsumura, terrific touch shot, and Japan scores 2. After 3 ends of play, it's Japan 3, China 2.
いいよ。
最後はいい感じかな。最後はいいよ。ライン付け。ウェイトだけ。いい感じ。ラインは悪くないよ。15.1。おうおうおう。結構来てる。
We are back live at the Gangneung Curling Center. It's the men's gold medal game at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2018. Japan coming back with a pair after dropping a pair in the second end to take a 3-2 lead in this 10-end game.
A slight change of tactics here. Japan didn't put up the centre guard to start with. They've put theirs in the forefoot. So China will put up the corner in the hope that they can use it later in the end.
Wide corner guard for China.
Japan bringing their second one in on top. Oh, no, now he's changed his mind. Let's go short.
Shinya Abe, 91% for the tournament. He's had a very steady week.
So decided to leave this in the free guard zone.
Free guard zone, the area between the rings and the near hog line. Half covers that stone on the button. Jiang Dongzhu waiting for instructions from skip Zhou Tiao. 86% for Dongzhu.
6区45 2 2拆他接了2 2对2来点2 yes 2
Joining in on the sweep, but this one is over curling. It's going to sit as a center guard.
Not an ideal result for China when they've got last stone here.
They do leave their stone lined up against the Japanese guard rock. It will run into the button area, but it's Japan with the counter right now. There you see yellow-red lined up into the button. Yasumasa Tanida, 86%. Very high quality play from both teams, as you'd expect the teams in the gold medal game to be, but the ice conditions here, Rona, being a big factor as well. The players able to play the full range of shots, the ice conditions consistent and really excellent.
Yeah, it's been consistently good all week from start to finish.
Just jiggles those guard stones around a bit, changes the angles, but still a chance to go red, yellow, red and pick the stone off the button area. Well, tight roping along that center line.
And it's so important to have good ice conditions because the players need to trust the ice so they can play the game they want to play, this delicate tap back, and have lots of stones in play. So it's great for the spectators as well as the players.
Xiao Jilin gonna clip the top one pretty thin. Squirts the red stone into the rings. That's the Japanese stone. It's just going to go back 4 foot. Xiao looking a little bit unhappy. Wanted a bit more contact on the front stone than he got.
Japan could put one short, or they could put one half round that yellow on the 12 foot.
There's a look at Tanida in the hack, getting set to throw his shot. Elevate the hips, push yourself forward, off you go. And importantly, let it go before the hog line.
That's a help. So just going for the longer guard here. I need to get this over onto the center line.
Has to be completely across that red line to be in play. That's called the hog line, and it is across. And big sweep to get it to the center line. Covering the block on the button, as well as partly covering the shorter center guard. That's a nice shot. Xiao Shilin.
Yep. Hard. Hard.
Japan don't want to leave the guards too long because you can come round them.
Yes. We saw
As
the
we've
last
seen.
end. Zhou Xiao doesn't mind going around guards. Tetsuro Shimizu, 87% for the tournament. Has won this event before with Yusuke Morozumi 2 years ago, 2016. That broke a long streak of silver medals for Team Japan at this event. Finally breaking through with a gold medal in 2016. Guards are up. What will China do?
I do prefer that one just off the centre line because it does block that big draw round on the outturn. If that was on top of the yellow, you could come round on the outside. So that's a good guard. And makes it difficult. I was just trying to tap this yellow up, but it
See those green lights flashing before Wang grips the handle.
yeah, when the player turns the stone over, that activates the eye in the hog. Flashing light.
Trying to run his own center guard straight back into the Japanese stones. It's going to be close. Nice. That curls a fraction more. It's a pistol. As it is, pretty good.
That was the only downside of the guard being slightly over the line. It allowed them to do that.
Japan still lying one so close to a perfect run back. Still a very good shot.
Now Japan would love to get a perfect hit and roll.
Shimizu being asked to throw bumper weight or board weight. Looking for that inside roll. Clean whoa, clean whoa. They must be really close. There's the hit. There's the roll. Top button, perfectly buried. Great shot.
That's a really good shot at this stage to get back in and get the power of controlling the top of that forefoot. China going to have to clear now.
Wang Shiyu, 83%. I think they might be trying the straight back again, Ronald.
Wow.
Oh, so close to perfect for Wang Shiyu. Gets rid of one stone. So close to perfectly stuffing it straight back.
But is it still biting at the back?
That's a good question.
Because that's a big difference.
There's a look at it
It
from our
is.
overhead. Does look like it's biting just the edge of that 12-foot circle.
Because
Doesn't have to
China
be-
do have last stone. That is their second counter.
That's right. If you're brand new to curling, the stone doesn't have to be all the way on the rings to be eligible to count. It just has to be touching it. And that back stone, we think, is touching the circle. Matsumura won't be making a play in that direction. He wants to draw around the center guards to lie probably top 4 foot.
Yeah, he's conscious that yellow is still usable to
Oh,
tap
yeah.
for a third time.
China's had 2 really close passes at making a perfectly awesome straight run back. Matsumura, 85% for the tournament. That's very good with throwing at 4th stone.
Yeah, so want to be buried here. Top 4 would be ideal.
Sweeping for distance and curl. They're trying to get some cover here. Pretty good. Just short of the 4-foot circle, but Japan lying 1 and 2. Might be a chance for China to squeeze one in there, though.
With a
Matsumura
good
would
draw
have liked
around.
it. Another foot forward, right?
Definitely wanted that in the forefoot, because this is a great chance for China to come round here on the in turn. Even he doesn't need to move the red, he could just half check the inside of it and make it very difficult for Japan.
Abe and Matsumura look on. So Jiao, 83% for the tournament.
And he's played some great draws already in this game.
力量为主啊，6、7就行，确保力量，下线差，虚的，线路很大，加油，可以的，2，下线，2，确保力量，下来了，2，
A long way to curl, trying to drag it down.
2给进，2中距
Will they get it into the 8-foot circle? It's going to come up just short.
The line was great as well.
Yeah, they had to wait a little bit on it because it was tracking wide. But Japan lies 1 and 2.
Just that wee bit wider out, taking ice right out at the edge of the 12-foot. There's not been many stones down that track, so it could just be a wee tad slower.
タップさせるかドローさせるか。
俺内が1個タップするのは
Shao rehydrating after that big sweep. Zhang catching his breath.
ここについて
He's
でも
rehydrating too.
こうだからね
That
Boys
yellow.
work hard.
So that yellow, back to our good word hands for the week. Tap upable.
Tap upable. Yeah. Well, there's 2 tap upable stones. The yellow stone is usable for China, and the stone there you see, Matsumura, the stone that he just threw, if he could push that forward another foot.
What if they guard that yellow?
They could guard yellow, that's another option.
投げさせんの
Then the only risk, I suppose, depending where they put the guard, would be some kind of a crazy run back double takeout. But that is an option, absolutely.
今もう2点これだけでしょ。
Because what shot, right now China have only got the tap on the yellow, or the draw right round the other side to be fully in the 4-foot.
Yeah, your instinct, you want to neutralize the most obvious shot that your opponent's got.
And the fact he's just played down that line, he knows the line, he knows the weight for the raise on the yellow.
そう思うだったら
But from Japan's point of view, they're happy to force China to a 1 here.
こっち投げさせる。
ありえるわでも相手にレイズを狙わせてもいい
The time clocks in the background, Japan down to 23 minutes of
そんなに難しくない
thinking time. We're only in the 4th end.
早くなったらわかんない。
So we need to keep a little bit of an eye on that. Not in any trouble yet by any means. We do think it's the guard. Trying to protect the path to that yellow stone of China's in the top 8-foot.
Yep, I like this call.
Definitely a sensible play.
最後はいいよもうちょいだイエスイエスイエス止まってるわイエスイエスイエスイエスもうちょいもうちょいもうちょいもうちょいイエスイエスイエスイエスイエスイエスイエスイエスイエス
Trying to cover as much of the hole as they can. They certainly take away the in-turn side. I wonder, well, they're not even looking at it. It's just going to be the draw. I do wonder if the shot's there on the out-turn, but you'd be flirting with the center guard. Looks to us like China is simply going to draw on the out-turn side. They need full 4-foot. So mission accomplished for Japan. Hardware in the background. The guys trying hard not to look at that. Keep their focus on the ice.
全然どっちも
That's what's up for grabs.
Yep, they've left
Championship
us,
trophy.
and they've left us draw, which is absolutely fine because they're happy to force 1 here.
Yeah.
But he's still got to make it. He's facing 2.
Yeah, it's a tough shot. Came up light with his last draw.
底线下6下线下线下线是连带底线下线确保力量
Final stone of the 4th end. China drawing against 2. They need full 4-foot.
正常2力量为主2 yes 2
This one is not heavy. It is also going to come up short, so it's a steal of 2 to Japan. Light with the attempted draw. Japan steals 2. Yuta Matsumura and company thieving their way to a 5-2 lead after 4.
Lines get. Lines get. Lines get. ウェイトだけだよ。ラインはいい感じ。ラインはいい感じ。15。スリン。
The flags of the participating nations flying here from the Raptors at the Gangneung Curling Center. It's the men's gold medal game here at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. The Olympic venue, and we've all really enjoyed our week in Gangneung.
3局，3局，32线，飞的，高一点，高一点，好，来一点 ，OK， 17秒2。
Korea's Kim Min-ji and teammates, the women's champions here in Gangneung. Who will be the men's champions? Will it be China or will it be Japan? Shinya Abe pointing out some debris. That was quite alert from Shinya.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Japan happy to keep playing the rings up 3. That was a huge steal of 2, Rona.
Certainly was at this stage in the game. Still early doors for China to come back, but for Japan just to take control. They were 1 up and really happy to force 1 there, but to steal a 2 was an added bonus.
Okay.
Jiang Dongzhu.
Yeah, because China didn't put up their corner guards at the last end. However, this time they're having to put up 2. They're now down in the game by several points, so they need to get cover out front.
And here's the situation where we see the new 5 rock free guard zone. Changing the tactics. Last year, 4 rock free guard zone, Japan would be clearing corner guards, but now because it's a 5 rock free guard zone, they still can't hit their opponent's stones in the free guard zone out of play, so Tanita being asked to throw another one short and tight to the rings on the center line. And it's still early days for the 5 rock free guard zone rule, Rona, and teams are still working out the best ways to attack and to defend with it.
Definitely. You know, it's just come in this season, so they're all trying different ways every time. And as you say, there's no right or wrong, and it's whatever suits each team to play. And several teams will have different ideas about how best to play it. So you, as well, you don't really know what your opposition are going to do yet,
right,
because it is still in the early stages. But it certainly makes it more exciting.
Oh yeah, lots of rocks in play, and when you are trailing in a game as China are, as you see what's at stake, there's the hardware. Leaves you with lots of opportunities to get yourself back in the game. So the World Curling Federation crest. WCF President Kate Caithness is in attendance here in Gangneung tonight. That one squirts, pushes the stone on the rings, doesn't hang around. Zhao Shilin looking on. repositions them a bit.
So Japan is at this situation where do we take the corner because that could be detrimental to us, or do we put up the centre guard and really pile the pressure onto China?
Seems to be the latter decision here. Throwing a center guard.
I think they're going to clear this corner.
My mistake.
Yeah.
It is a clear.
They could clear the corner and roll to the centre, would be another option, but they've just decided to open it up. Oh!
Kind of curl around into the back of the button. That's cheeky.
That's a cheeky move. However, that might benefit China to freeze later on in the end.
That's true. Watch the action. Gets the spin and look at the rotation. Ticks around, ticks it, still spins back in towards the center line. Xiao Shilin.
So Japan are, you know, they're 3 up, but they don't want to lose a big end, so they'd be quite happy to spun the stones around there and opened it all up.
China just trying to maneuver these stones around and keep them in play. Just pushing it just through the rings. They were hoping to get a bit of contact on those stones in the 4-foot circle.
Yep, they've just got to keep plugging away and try and force an error out of Japan to be able to get a 2 back on the board.
Tetsuro Shimizu being asked to run the other corner guard on this shot.
Oh, a bit of a wobble there.
When Tetsuro Shimizu hits a rock, it stays hit. Great shot.
Good shot, but he has left a guard that can benefit China here.
Guard off the center line now, so yes, maybe a chance for China to use it. Wang Xiyu. Fifth end of this men's gold medal game between Japan and China. China trying a freeze here. Oh, pretty good shot. Oh, great angle. Nice shot. Difficult for Japan to make a play on that Chinese stone without losing their own, so it's just going to be a stone in front for Yuta Matsumura. Shimizu, after throwing that thunderous clearing shot on the previous stone, now being asked to throw a delicate draw shot. Very nice shot there from Shimizu. Pretty close to perfect. Maybe a tiny hole for China to squeeze through.
China need to open this up. They can't risk losing anything else now at the 5th end. They're 3 down. They've got to score here.
Yeah, Japan is lying too, so you don't have too much time to muck about if you're China. So I think you're right, Rona. You need to open it up a bit.
They can come in and try and tap the yellow back and err on the right side that they remove the guard if they're not getting the shot.
Trying to hold the line. This one is over curling. Just going to hit the guard and stick there, pushing the Japanese stone back to the tee line. Shinya Abe sweeping it as deep as he can so China can't hit and roll off it. That was alert. Yuta Matsumura making his way to the throwing end. Another guard, Rona?
Definitely.
Guard for your life.
Because that yellow is so easy to just raise straight, remove both reds, and you would lie 2. So he's got to cover that path to the yellow.
Tough to throw great guards on fast, swingy ice. Because the rock glides so much and it curls so much late in the trip.
So I think he wants it as close to the rings as he can, because then it blocks it more. If it's too long a guard, it's easier to come round.
There's that glide.
Just like that.
As we said, tough to throw great guards. It's an okay guard. It covers half of the rock, but Solchiao can absolutely get through that hole.
Yeah, he just wouldn't be able to play as much weight at it as he'd probably have liked to.
Right.
But he can see enough of it to play tap back.
Knowing Shou, I think he'll be thinking I can hit it hard enough to kill 2 and roll to the wing. He's set up to jam, but the Reds could spring. China could be lying 1 at least, and maybe 2 if he makes it great. Oh, just by the front. Does spring the red, leaves red lying 1, but crucially leaves himself lying 2nd and 3rd shot, so the warning lights are flashing for Japan. That's a good setup shot.
Great shot there. And just with that, guard of Japan's over curling. So what do they do now? Because both these yellows are behind cover.
Yep, it's tough.
And their red is in the open.
Not a lot good for Japan right now.
So they could block the hole. They could block the hole so that they make it difficult to get into the red shot.
Well, missed the guard last time, but I think Yuta Matsumura says, okay, I just got to make it this time. Cover the hole. Protect my 1.
The good thing for Japan is there's no yellows out front that could be raised in. You know, if they guard this, if there'd been a yellow out front, they could raise it for 3, whereas there's no yellow to do that. So if he guards this, China could only raise a red into the one in the house.
Matsumura over-curled his guard on the first stone. Essential that he gets this stone into a good place, defending his shot rock. That's a better shot from Matsumura. Now, Shou lining up the flat double. Shot there for 3. I thought he might take a look, Rona, at angle tapping that stone in the top of the forefoot to get 2, but he's thinking 3. This is a harder shot. It's really flat. He'd have to throw it really hard. Now they're looking at the tap.
I think the tap looks easier.
Yeah, I think so too. Neither shot is easy, but it's easier. Zhang looking on. Down Raphael as well. Bob Ursel from Japan. Everybody's sizing up the angles. They're asking Xiao Xilin at the hack end, what can he see? I can see that much. I can just see a sliver. A sliver is really all you need. You only have to push that red stone about a foot, and you get 2. I think Zhao really wants to throw the double. But they are going to try the angle tap. He's going to hit the top one thin and on an angle, so he's going to need something like backline weight, maybe hack weight.
The guard's not too close to it, so he could play just a back ring weight.
He has to push the red stone about 2 feet to score 2. He's going to hit that top one pretty thin. Thing to watch for is the early sweep. The line is crucial on this final shot of the 5th end.
11他们11他们11
Oh, sweepers are having to work this really hard past the guard.
Can they hold the line? They're by. Terrific shot. China scores 3. Brilliant stone. Cao Jiao with an angle tap for 3. Brilliant shot. Brilliant sweeping by Jiang and Xiao, holding the line, just getting it by the guard. Perfect tap, perfect weight, and he saves the shooter. China gets 3. Great line read by Wang. And the best possible result for China. Huge 3-point end. At the midpoint, we are all tied up at 5. Play in the second end. China's Cao Jiao needs to draw into the 8-foot to score 2 points. Makes it easily, putting it right into the button area. Third end, final stone coming up for Japan's Yuta Matsumura. Delicate little come around tap for a great deuce for Japan. Fourth end, Japan lying 2. That forces Cao Jiao to play a wide out-turn draw to score. Jiang and Xiao desperately trying to sweep this one into the 4-foot area, but it comes up short, and it's a big steal of 2 for Japan. In the 5th end, Cao Jiao can only see a corner of that stone in the top of the 4-foot. He wants to angle tap this stone to maybe score 2. And look at this result. Gets the angle tap and saves the shooter to score 3. Brilliant shot. Fist pump from Zhou. Terrific stone. At the midway point, we are deadlocked at 5.
好，控制好节奏，不急。现在理解他们现在心态有变化，我们就做最简单的东西就行啊，加油！
让他拉顺序。啊，对。
stats at the midpoint. Japan with a big edge in shooting percentage and those 3 stolen points, but that fantastic final stone of the 5th end by Solcheal knots this game up at 5. It's the men's gold medal game at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. Welcome back inside the Gangneung Curling Center. It's the men's gold medal game at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. Japan versus China. Earlier today we saw a back and forth battle in the women's gold medal game between Korea and Japan. Korea ultimately prevailing on the last shot of the game. I'm Hans Fraunlove. I'm joined by Olympic champion Rona Howie. And Rona, in this men's gold medal game, after that 3-point end from China, this one feels like it could go down to the wire as well.
Absolutely. It's very exciting. Yep, both skips really playing pressure shots when required and setting up big ends.
Center guard thrown by China. Japan going to duck around it. Not going to get cover. Good weight, but it's in the open.
Yeah, Japan could have put up corners here if they really wanted to try and get their 2 now. They've got last stone advantage.
Jiang Dongju. Now that we're in the second half of the game, control of the scoreboard becomes more of a consideration. Japan would love to get a pair here in the even end if they could.
Which is why I'm surprised they didn't put up some corners to score at the 6th, 8th and 10th.
Me too. Shinya Abe having a great game. But you're right, Rona. Japan playing this end pretty conservatively, and this stone of Abe is tracking wide. Has he got any contact at all? Just pushes the Chinese stone out of the rings, but he rolls out himself. After that big final shot by China in 5, it just feels like the momentum has shifted here.
Yeah, 2 great stones there by China at that 5th end, and it just, as you say, you can just feel a momentum shift. And the fact that Japan haven't called the corner guards here, it's as though they're maybe running scared a wee bit now.
Exactly the phrase I was thinking, Rona. Feels like they're running scared a little bit. China, on the other hand, feeling pretty good about life after that huge 3. This one's going to slide deep. Xiao Qilin struggled a little bit this afternoon.
So a slight error from China there by bringing that back tee. It now gives Japan something to freeze on.
Yasumasa Tanida, 80% for this game. He's had a very good tournament.
Yes, 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 green. Yes, yes,
good looking shot here.
yes, yes.
Coming down to that back stone, sits right in front of it.
A lovely shot. So now, because China did put that one back tee, you can get into a nice wee guddle on the centre line behind this guard.
See some of the supporters' flags in the background. Supporters here for all of the competing nations today. Finals day today. The bronze medal matches were held this morning. Gold medal matches here later in the day.
Working this really hard.
It's going to be close to that center guard, just going to rub it.
So now Japan can get a second counter round here, top 4.
The plot thickens.
So they didn't put up their corners to try for their 2, but they're now in a position to lie 2 behind a center guard.
More than one way to manufacture a pair.
However, that yellow is very usable for China to tap up. Important to keep this one top of the tee though.
Want to get some cover. And they have kept it in front of the tee, half around that top center guard.
Yeah, that's good there.
No double takeout for China. They might be able to make a play at that stone, but no chance to rattle the one around at the back.
Yeah, that yellow on the right-hand side of your screen is their get-out clause for later in the end, as we saw a couple of ends ago, that China like raising their yellows into play.
Yes, they like those tap-upable stones.
Indeed.
They do have contact. Roll it to the wing. So Japan lies 1. They've got the hammer in 6. Lots of Chinese company in the rings though. Wang Jiu looks on. And there's that characteristic very high hip elevation from Tetsuro Shimizu, 93% for this game.
Yeah, so that straight arm to bent release must be very effective for him.
Absolutely.
He's shooting those numbers. Needs to bury here though.
Tanita now sweeping for curl. Abe joins him. Trying to hide how much ever they can. Hiding a corner, pretty much the same spot it was. Just replacing that rock. Good shot there from Shimizu.
The only benefit of just showing part of the stone, it's a teaser for China to go for it rather than go for that raise on the other side.
Right.
Whereas if it was completely buried, China would probably have to go for the
to
raise.
commit for the tap, yeah.
And then that could cause a problem for Japan.
Game of cat and mouse. That's what we love about our sport. The strategy, the setup, the positioning of the stones.
Yeah. Every game's different. Every end's different.
Wang Xiu. Just by the top. Does get a little action on the back this time, just slightly changing the angle. Nice shot. 10 end games at World Curling Federation events, and every end is like a whole new chapter in the book. Building to a crescendo at the end of the game. Shimizu looking to play a little music on this one, wants a little inside roll.
A toe slider as well.
Looking for an inside flop, doesn't quite get it. Leaves himself sitting in the open. Good news for Japan is even if China does run red onto red, because the angle they'd be coming in, red at the back is almost sure to survive. Sneak a peek at the coach's camera.
Yeah, they're filming it all for their debrief after the game.
We're seeing what they're seeing, and they're seeing what, no, well, whatever. Lots of cameras here at the Gangneung Curling Center. Hope
And
you're
as we're
enjoying the
saying-
action wherever you're joining us in the world.
Yep, as you said, Hans, every game's different, and that's why coaches do take a lot of footage to show tactical situations so that the team afterwards can discuss possibilities that they may have not seen when they're actually on the ice and say, all right, okay, if we're in that situation again, I would maybe try a different shot.
Right.
And it's good discussion points for the coach and the team.
Yeah, nothing like visual evidence in front of you to convince you of something, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
for
didn't
many
do that.
years, coaches always, it was, well, you'd move salt and pepper pots around the table and mugs and things, trying to recreate the situation in the head, whereas now, all this technology makes it much easier for coaches.
Solchiao, 68% for the game. He's looking for the inside roll. Actually just trying to draw through the hole. Just feathers, redirects, spills it to the tee line. That's a pretty good result for Show. China lies one.
China are lying first and third. They're in a really good position here. This is a key shot for Japan.
The 2-point end still very much on for Japan if Yuta Matsumura can sink one into the scoring area.
They've already come down here a couple of times when they tried to bury, so he knows the line.
Where's perfect here, Rona? Front button?
Yeah, just top of the 1 foot. But if he is absolutely perfect, there's that yellow raise on your right-hand side of the screen there. So ideally,
Want to keep it high enough to keep that in play, perhaps?
yeah, is it going to? It's not going to curl enough to come round and check the yellow that's lying short, because that would be perfect.
Right.
But he's never going to get right round onto that. So that if they went for the raise, there would be the jam possible.
Matsumura, 78% for the match. Important draw here. They lost a bit of momentum after dropping that 3 in the last end, trying to get the wheels in motion again here in the 6th end.
Definitely looking high of line.
Lots of weight, too. Now they're switching up, playing a different shot, looking for a rub. They get a little rub. Alert line read from Shinya Abe to salvage something from that shot. It was wide, but Abe calling for the late sweep just to graze that stone coming in and change the direction. Wang and Shou looking at their options. They think they can get to that stone. It's really the same path that he just threw.
Yep, and his on as well. And they're all struggling just down this line a bit today with just not getting that big finish. So China need to be careful if they play a wee bit of running weight at this, that it doesn't hang.
The ice is very weight sensitive. Anything up from draw weight will run a little bit before it makes its move. So precision weight required here for China. Here we see the brush. Okay, so
Yeah,
he
so
is.
that's what you took before. This
Right.
is what we're going to take now. So
Right.
definitely tighten the ice.
And that tighter ice also telling us that he does intend to try and move the Japanese stone here. A little bump. Now it makes a move.
He's trying to nick it.
Oh, super shot. Solchiao. Precision.
Japan are in big trouble now. And this is where we go back to hands at the beginning of the end.
The
What did
decision.
we say?
No corner guard.
No corner guard. Japan were happy to play around the centre. When they don't have... Great shot there.
Sometimes you play with fire and sometimes you get scorched.
Yes. But it was just that momentum shift after that last end when Japan lost a 3 out of nothing. You know, they controlled that end. All of a sudden they lose a 3. And this end, they were running scared. And now they're in big trouble. round
Chinese
this centre
bench.
guard.
Does he think he can hit half and maybe double them off and score that way? Tight brush. Certainly trying to pick the stone off the button in any case. Well, what are we going to get here, folks? Buckle up. That extra weight just taking the stone wider, and it's a steal of 2 for China. Big weight takeout shot there from Yuta Matsumura. Steps up the weight, the stone just floats a tiny bit, goes by everything, and China steals 2. No curl with that much weight, and it's a steal of 2 for China. What a game. Disappointment for Matsumura, but China are on top after 6. They lead it by a score of 7-5.
下落稍微有点小，6-7，下落稍微有点小，7-8，得等，这个气油没问题啊，下落 OK， 7-8，力量大一点，力量大，后区，8区，可以等，力量大，等吧，我得放到底，这是后区的。
We're back live at the Gangneung Curling Center, and the momentum has swung massively in this game in favor of China. They were trailing 5-2, then a brilliant shot for a 3 in the 5th, and now a steal of 2 in the 6th. All of the momentum is in favor of the team from China at this point in the men's gold medal game. I'm Hans Frauenlaub. I'm here with Rona Howie. And Rona, Team Japan, you can just look at the body language, and they're looking quite deflated. They're going to have to find a spark to get themselves back into this one.
They definitely are. They were 5-2 up, and then they've lost 5 shots in 2 ends. So the momentum is hugely shifted. But the game is not over.
5 rock free guard zone, 1 corner guard up for Japan. You can score 2s and 3s in a hurry if you get your guards into good places.
4，下落 OK， 4-5，
Jiang Dongju.
You know, Japan just need to look at it. They're only 2 down.
Right,
They've got last stone.
right.
So forget what's just happened. You can't change that or control that. But you can control the next 4 ends of the game.
Absolutely. Get your pair here, stabilize the ship, and grind it out. Shinya Abe.
So China have put one just back of the 4, which allows Japan to freeze that. But at this end now, Japan have got the corner. They don't want to be sucked into this mess in the centre. Keep it fairly simple. You can get a simple 2. You've got 1 corner guard. Use it and just generate a simple 2.
Abe throwing that stone to the back with a 4-foot. Good shot, but you're right, Rona. China pretty comfortable going around center guards. They've done it all day.
Yeah, Japan are just getting sucked into China's game rather than playing their own right now.
Feels that way, doesn't it?
磕9
哥，再降了，已经在降了，非常好。磕一点。
放到底。
Urging the stone to curl.
新君のと同じぐらいのウェイトかな。
Matsumura persisting in the play around the guards.
いや悪くはない。
Might you think about zipping around the corner now, Rona?
Yeah, I mean, that yellow is biting the 1 foot,
こ
so
こに来たら相手。
it's always tempting to move it when you can.
It's hard to ignore.
Because if they come round the corner, are China going to rip the corner? Or are they going to call your bluff and put up a better centre guard?
これ
Exactly.
始めても悪くはないと思うんだけど。
They could remove the top yellow and roll behind the corner.
Right, 2 for 1.
Oh, he
There
just
you
heard
go.
me.
Speak louder, Rona. They can hear you. Well, they did briefly look at that hit and roll. Does seem to be the draw, though, after all of the discussion. And Yasumasa Taneda wants to wedge one in there.
17を。ウォウ。
グリーン結構強いよ
ウォウ。
ウォー
ウォウ。ウォウ。
てっちゃんてっちゃん
Yes!
ウォー
Yes! Yes! Yes!
A little nudge, a little push. Pretty good
Good
shot.
shot. So now Japan would love if China hit and rolled over here, and then they can now come round the corner. So as you said earlier, it's a game of cat and mouse.
Indeed.
Stone positioning is so critical.
Team China going to come down for a chat about this one before they make their decision.
They could come down and just freeze right on top of that and say, do you know what, we're happy to give you one here.
Yeah, come get us.
我感觉直接奔俩走，头都不要了，
But it is a bit early in the
打
end.
1/3。
场线
你要是磕的话，
场线
比如说你
就不够。
磕定了，你给他往后，他反正都是太多了。
要是
球太多了
大的这打的话，就留不了头。然后
他要是这么，他要是比如说你要是清完俩之后，他要是旋，他只能往这块旋，他往这块旋，咱就可以。
对，但是这个得出俩这样。
那个够呛能出俩，那个还相关呢。
对，
这球打完了，这球一夹没准
你们比较倾向哪个？
直接粘，不磕，
磕点，
直接粘的。
反正打肯定是最好的。
打
但是
那个
他打
就打出来俩行，打不出来俩没啥用。
OK，打，可以。
A big team confab.
Yes, indeed. Talked about a few options there. Seem to have settled on a freeze. There's Coach Zhang waiting for the call. No timeout was called there, so players discussing that amongst themselves.
They might be just going for the dead freeze.
Seemed to be where Zhou Qiao was patting his brush, so yeah, I agree, Ron. I think it is the freeze.
小一点，力要小一点。
Yeah, they've got the advantage on the scoreboard. If they can force Japan to a 1, they would be happy here.
Yeah, this would be a brilliant end for China to force Japan to a single point. Give them hammer in the even ends. One up. This one's not going to get around the top stone, though. Sits in the front 12 foot.
It's not a disaster
No, it's
for
not.
China because, as I say, it's keeping that play in the centre, which is what they want. Japan want to get it out to the wings.
ここまで行きたいけど。
So a little bit of frustration there from Xiao.
こっち？ああ、こっちでこうかい？ああ、悪い、いいと思うよ。
Yeah, Japan need to open this up now.
どれくらいやって？
This is a little
ああ、
reminiscent
こっちの方
of
が半個高い。
one of the key shots in the women's gold medal
こう
game.
なってもそんな悪くはないけ
Korea's
ど。
Kim Min-ji made a double takeout with the stone's position, not too
これ
dissimilar
が
to this
こういう
to
感じだね。
score a crucial 2. Japan trying to get rid of 2 stones here.
こっち
Yasumasa
からだったら赤に飛ぶでしょ、多分。
If you hit the yellow, the left-hand one there, just off centre, he could get the roll over with his shooter and split both yellows
あ
out
っちだと上がり
without
きるけど
catching any reds.
どっちがいいの？9と8。
9の方が残せはするけど。
OK。じゃあ9にしよう。
So, Rona, your preference would be to just slightly hit the top stone first?
Yeah, on the left-hand side, like
Right.
just off center on the left. They're coming at the other way. Just the way the stagger is on the yellows.
Just overswept that one, I think. Good news for them is they got their own stone onto the center line, protecting the shot rock, but they were hoping to push that other Chinese stone a bit further out of play.
But just the way that stagger was, the double on the higher stone looked easier.
Right.
稍微偏一点。
I don't know who's lying second shot at the back of the forefoot, because that might make a difference to what China do,
That's true.
because it's pretty close.
Japan definitely lying one, we know that for sure.
这也可以啊。
可以。我这球打定有吗？打红的红的。
There's a good look. That is pretty close. I wouldn't want to call
对
it.
他那球前面放前面有点
Made
危
a
险。
call on one in the
有。
women's
不应掉
semifinal,
那
and I
点
was
儿
totally
不要往那
wrong,
个
so
红的找，是不是也行？
bit gun shy.
啊，打定。OK。
And I
Red
think
stones belong to Japan.
我感觉这个好点。
这样好点。你现在站一个站不扛分。
they've changed their mind. They were going to draw around, and now they're going to go for the raise.
Interesting. Interesting.
See all the strapping on his arm there from a physio. He's obviously been sweeping so hard this week.
Yeah. Wang Xiu trying to hammer this back, rattle them around. Well, not a bad result. Leaves the Japanese stone sitting in the back of the forefoot.
这个简单点儿。
对，简单点，你控他两个。
我感觉这个简单点儿。啊，要不然太难了。
Yeah, at least he took one of the reds out at the back there.
There's a small gap now between that red stone and the yellow stone in the back 8 foot as well.
1個ないぐらい。
サイドに開いても
どうも。
縦よりかは開いた方がいい。
開けといた方がいいと。10?
Yeah, he looked at drawing round that yellow, half round the yellow, into the forefoot to lie 2. But if he's ever a fraction heavy, he could leave a double. So, just deciding to remove this yellow counter now and roll over.
Shimizu
大妹。零。
want to save the shooter. This one's tracking a bit straight. I don't know if it's going to hang around.
Oh,
just
missed
spills.
opportunity there.
Disappointment for Shimizu.
ちょっと早い。
あ、ウェイトはいいよ。
ウェイティ。3秒。
3秒。点行不行？
行。
3秒小
3秒
啊，
小点。
Wang Xiu
3秒小点。
零。
3秒小一点。
零。
2。
He doesn't want to spill either. Good shot, but maybe leaving Japan enough room to wiggle that yellow one out and keep their stone in the rings and get a bit of separation. Would have liked to be right on the nose. Not quite.
1個こっちにフリーズ。
ハマーは微妙。まだあれで平行にはなる。いや当たっちゃうのよ。
うん、こうやられてワンツーになるはなるね。
These teams have both qualified for the World Men's Curling Championships in a new wrinkle.
パンパン。
The third-ranked and fourth-ranked teams from this competition get a second chance. It's the new World Qualifying event, which will occur in January in New Zealand. So the third and fourth-ranked teams here, being Korea and New Zealand, will have a second opportunity to try to make it to the World Men's.
零。
ちょっとやめてよ。
零。
零。
Need to keep their shooter in play. They're looking just to nick the yellow out and roll over.
Is it going to stay in the rings? Yes, it will. Nice shot by Tetsuro Shimizu.
However, there is a double.
Double there, and there is Team Korea. Kim Soo-hyuk, Jeong Myung-jin. Bronze medalist from earlier today in a big comeback victory over New Zealand. We have had a lot of entertaining curling today, Rona.
Certainly have.
Chance here for Zhou Qiao if he can get the right contact point to possibly remove both Japanese stones. No double takeout here. Gets a little inside roll, but still playable for Japan.
Yeah, key here now for Japan to lie to after this shot to stand a chance of scoring 2 here.
It's one of these dicey situations where you know you need to stick around, but you also know that you really need the outside roll to avoid the double takeout. We heard Yuta say bumper weight, board weight.
Yeah, the sweepers can hold the line quite well down here. You don't need to throw a huge weight.
Really needs to control the shooter. Keep it in play.
Sweepers on it early though. They need to hold it.
Yeah, this is actually quieter than bumper weight. This is more like hack.
It's looking okay. Oh,
It's on the nose. It's a slightly awkward angle for China to think about the double takeout. Can hit and roll, definitely.
yeah, if they got a hit and roll here, it really would probably kill Japan's chances of a 2 at this end.
Thin double takeout, really risky. Slash double takeout, you lose the shooter. Japan blanks and keeps hammering to the even ends. So China, we think, is going to try to hit that stone. Roll behind cover as Matsumura with a quick refreshment.
Very steady delivery.
Show calling for the sweep immediately out of hand. He thinks he's narrow. No inside roll here, just to the nose, so it's going to be an open hit for Japan to tie this one up. Same shot, really, for Yuta Matsumura that he just threw. Bumper weight, same weight that he just threw. You're nodding your head, Rona Howie. You're approving.
Yep. Same shot, same line, same weight. It's always easy to say that. Same again.
Same again.
Yeah, great opportunity though. An open hit for 2 to tie the game back up.
Good looking stone for Team Japan. Nice indeed. Right on the nose. That's a pair for Yuta Matsumura. So Japan grabbing back some of the momentum that they lost with a great deuce. After 7 ends of play, we are tied at 7.
っと近いかな。3。
ちょっと曲がりそうな感じ。かけるなら入っときたい。ないはいいよ。ちょっとやっぱ曲がるね。イエス。もうちょいだ。
And this is where we are. 7th end. 7 for Japan, 7 for China. 3 ends to come. Who's going to get the gold medal? Hans Fraunov, I'm joined by Olympic champion Rona Howie. And Rona, we were talking between ends. The difference, the way that the previous end played out, because Japan elected to go to the corner guard.
Yeah, they opened it up, and when they had last stone, they opened up the front and tried to get play out to the wings. Whereas the previous end, I think they were still in shock at losing the 3, that they just got sucked into China's game round the centre guard and, you know, lost another 2. So the game's back to appeals. So hopefully now, with 3 ends to go, it's that 8th end of a game that is always so critical to score. So China will really want 2 here. Whereas now Japan are putting up the centre guard, so they're going the right way this time. And it is all about the tactical side of, you know, the game, that wins or loses the game.
Right. Now, Rona, I have to ask, for the non-Scottish among us, the game is at peels. What does peels mean?
It's all tied.
It's all tied. That's way more boring. I like peels. We're at peels. Okay.
Why, what would you say?
The game's tied.
Tied. Oh no, we're peels.
We're all even. Deadlocked. Knotted up. Lots of different ways to say the game is really, really close.
It's very close. It's all square.
It's all square. Well played, ma'am. Well played.
And Japan have got a good setup with 2 centre guards. China have got 1 corner and now coming round the centre. So it's all going to happen here at the 8th end.
Oh boy, game on. The even end, control of the even ends as we head towards the 10th end. Both teams would love to score in this end. Yasumasa Tanida.
So China just sitting right on the button. Japan don't want to rub off this. They either want to sit high or just freeze dead on top.
Miles by the guard. And it will just glance off the Chinese stone and flop a little bit into the open.
Yeah, that's not really what they were looking for. But it looks simple for China just to come round and sit there, but they're also thinking, we don't want to get sucked into this centre battle.
Tanida with a clear edge over Shao in shooting percentage. Big shot here for Shao. This stone is also tracking. Now they're going to try to roll it wide. They're not getting an inside roll. They're trying for an outside roll instead. Good alert line read there from Shou once he realized that the inside roll was just not going to happen. Got a little bit of separation.
He had his corner guard that they could have actually gone further behind.
Indeed.
A chance now for Japan. Get hit and roll over.
Tanida.
Both teams are down to 9 minutes on their time clock, so they're not overly generous with time, but they've just got enough.
Little inside roll, not quite getting to the shooter. Pretty much where it was on the shot previous.
If China get the roll inside off this one, it would be top of the button.
Just missed the sweeping call, I think, on that one, Rona. They had good line, but it overcurls.
Okay, how brave are Japan?
Exactly. Hold your nerve.
They've got their 2 guards up, so why not?
That's what you put them there for, with the objective of using them. Now they call them off. Now they call them back on, and that little hesitation in the sweep, it overcurls and spills. Michelle can't believe it.
Not happy
Wide on
about
the
that.
first one, and that one overcurls. Shimizu, key shot here.
This is a big opportunity to really put the pressure onto China. If they can freeze this dead behind the cover, China may have to open up the front.
Great looking line. How's the weight? Just slightly overswept again.
Overswept it.
Overswept.
Oh no.
Good shot, but it could have been a great one. Just overswept it. And you see the red Olympic rings there on the top of the stone. Shinya Abe always checking the distance. Wang Xiyu.
So this is now a great opportunity for China to come to the inside of this red stone.
That one's well clear of the guard as well, though, Rona.
They're just not getting that line right.
Now, would you switch over to the intern side on this shot? Stick with the out turn by the looks of it.
Japan have to be careful they don't leave a double on theirs here,
That's what I'm thinking.
because
Rona.
China have got last stone. If they
Exactly.
get a chance of a double, it could be a big end.
Shimizu, 91%. Having an excellent game for Japan.
7じゃ押せない。バック4いかないぐらい。
Back 4.
That's a universal. Curling language.
But the thing is, with a bit of running, yeah, he's moved in a wee bit. They're just always on the high side in this part of the ice.
Yeah, we've seen 2 or 3 stones track a little straighter than they thought this end, down this out turn side. That's the weight they were looking for, according to the sweepers. But you can see it tracking. It's tracking straight.
It is. They need to be careful where they leave this.
Trying to get a little bit of separation, at least on the back stone. Ooh.
Living dangerously
Living
here.
very dangerously, Team Japan. China has last rock, don't forget. They're playing the yellow stones. Timeout being called by China. Rona, how you always say the 8 end is the interesting end, and so it's proving to be once again.
Yep. It could be a game winning or a game losing end right here.
If that red stone of Shimizu's head curled even another centimeter
Yep, just to the inside.
to the inside, this situation would be entirely different.
这么薄啊？
对呀、直接打掉的一打不就仨吗？这线是不是一打就仨？有没有？我在这边看不太清。
飞薄呗。
对呀、你这皮儿有没有
我怕
仨呀？
这个5号能刮着这个吗？
这个5号
肯定能刮着。
应该刮不着这个。
我怕这球直着走。
然后
皮儿的咬控啊。
没问题，没问题。
那他还是粘。
你再反粘那就完事儿了。
这要是做个角呢，现在这几个一个了。
站这。你做个角，他这边投进来你就没法打了。
So the coach is just walking round the head here, trying to work out angles.
不摊分，这球不怕他粘，这局很简单，他粘完以后你再抢旋一个上局，还有2分球，直接给他打掉就最简单。
这球就很薄啊。
我这儿， 你就打一半儿，
他就能往回
打一半儿都没问题，你别整那么悬了的事儿，就打一半儿就可以。
能，这个肯定能，怕60，那个肯定属实的，现在就是这个时间。
China could see inside that red stone to the left of the forefoot there. They could hammer it and rattle things around, but they can't get inside it because of that center
保外
guard.
角，保外角，4/3，一半。
一半3，一半。
Skip Joe
我感觉
sprinting back to the ice surface.
保掉它
保掉，
1/3，
对，打外角全保掉。
I wonder if he knows what the shot call is.
Yep, well, his team and his coach have decided he's just putting the brush down.
An interested spectator.
Yeah, so they can split one red out here, but the key is where the red they're hitting goes to.
Springs them, moves the Japanese stone across to the other side of the forefoot, leaves 3 Chinese stones behind the tee line. Well, that rearranges things a bit.
Oh my goodness, Japan.
Yeah, danger lights are still absolutely flashing for Japan. If you're gonna draw it there, boy, you better make it. 4 rocks to come here. Down to skip rocks now. There's a look. China with the hammer here in 7.
They've still got a timeout that they could use.
They do. Japan have not called their timeout yet.
いや悪くはないと思うけど、相手はこっちのロールはできる。
7:21 and counting for Team Japan on their time clock. 1 timeout remaining, as we can see on the scoreboard.
多分深すぎるとキャッチャーになっちゃうと思うよ。
6は超えたくない。
Bob Ursel, Japanese coach. It's almost like he's wanting the team to call the timeout so he can run onto the ice surface.
奥行くんだったら奥行かなきゃいい。
But Matsumura and Abe have settled on a shot call. It does look like they want to draw around the center guard to the top of the forefoot, rolling the dice.
And this is a side that they've had the straight run. Need to bury this completely here. Can't leave a double.
Could this be a situation, Rona, where Matsumura, as the left-hander, coming down a slightly different angle, maybe gets a little bit better finish?
Yep, he certainly could. Reverse handle and yep. He needs to get this buried.
Yeah. Critical that Japan gets something behind cover here.
Sweepers are wanting to sweep it for weight, but line still plenty high.
Lot of curling to do to get cover, and it is not heavy. Now it's making a move. How far can they drag it? Oh, great brushing by Tanita and Shimizu. That's exactly where they wanted it. Great shot.
That was a great sweep.
Cool as a cucumber, Yuta Matsumura.
Oh, he knows it was a great sweep.
Nice one, Skipper. Great shot, great sweep.
稍微薄一点，3/1甩过来。
11得一小半吧。
啊，对，11稍微薄一点。
可往那甩。
11。
点可以吗？
China really want to score more than 1 here. 8th end, they would love a 2.
It's the men's gold medal game. We are live from the Gangneung Curling Center, Pacific Asia Curling Championships.
Very square slide. Square shoulders, square hips, right to the brush.
非常可以啊。11大一点啊。
11大一点。
包底。
下线吗？
Just trying to get off the inside of this other red.
下线，下线，下线，直接插头。
Oh, very
beautiful.
nice stone. Very nice stone. So Jiao. Great touch.
The only benefit for Japan now is that red is 3rd shot.
再少点下呢。
好像这也不够。
Dead even in shooting percentage, but Matsumura better on his draws. Show better on his hits. And a tough hit here for Matsumura.
Yeah, can't see any of that,
No, he can't.
especially from the left-hand hack.
Exactly. He's going to come looping around from the left-hand hack to make this one. And he won't be able to throw much more than backline weight to make this. A super tough shot. Great shot by China. Here we go. It is hack weight.
He's got to miss that top guard by nothing.
It's not far away.
Needs to curl. Here it comes.
Oh, a terrific shot by Matsumura. Terrific line read by Shinya Abe, and Japan lies 3. That's one cool customer. And there's another one. Terrific
Fantastic
shot. Watch how long they waited. Watch how close they had to come to this stone right there. And he just nailed it absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, because it nearly came off his own, and if he had, it would have taken the momentum off and not. Oh,
what a precision
nothing.
line read that was from Team Japan. Wonderful shot.
So really, China, all they have is to come in off that red, the same as his last stone, just to come in off into the forefoot.
And this only to score a single point. So Japan has achieved the force. Can they steal? Slightly wider path for China.
He's got options. He can come in off, or it's a dead draw.
Will it stop, though? Will it stop? It's sliding deep, and it's going to be a steal, or is it? It's close. I think it's one red.
He could have swept that and just got a nick off the red.
Could have. A sweeping error, I agree. And it is a steal of 1 for Japan. What a huge single point for the Japanese in the 8th end. Control of the even end swings to Japan after that great final stone by Matsumura. Zhou a little bit heavy with his final draw. Japan steals to take an 8-7 lead after 8.
打ってくるかもしれないけどしょうがないんで、ここはもう時間ないし。
Welcome back to the Gangneung Curling Center. It's the gold medal game in the men's event at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships, and it could not be closer. Japan with a steal of 1 in the 8th, giving them an 8-7 lead. Hans Frauenlob here with Rona Howie. And Rona, we were talking during the break and trying to decide whether it was a prize or a bit of a poison pill, Japan stealing the point there in the 8th. They've got the lead on the scoreboard, but with the 5 rock free guard zone, it's tough to defend that lead.
It certainly is. 2 ends to go, and Japan would dearly love to force China to take their 1 here. So I think we might see them go all out to make sure they do that.
Japan with a center guard, China throwing it to the back ring on the wing, which says to me that China really wants to blank this end to keep the hammer into the 10th.
Yes, 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 yes. Green, yes, 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 green, 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 green. Yes, yes.
Another nice stone by Shinya Abe.
Yeah, China definitely want to blank this, but Japan really don't want them to.
How long will that guard survive? Japan definitely wants to use it. Nose hit here.
Yeah, so that's where it's important when China are hitting these stones in the house that they stay in play, that they don't hit and roll out, because if they hit and roll out, it gives Japan the opportunity to take control.
And there's the women's gold medal team from Korea. They've made a lot of fans today. Huge upset win over Satsuki Fujisawa of Japan. Team Kim Min-ji, Pacific Asia champions this year. There's another inside roll for Team Japan.
Yeah,
Tanita, nice shot.
been a good year for ladies curling in Korea.
Sure has.
Winning a silver medal in this venue with a different team at the Olympic Games, and now gold medal at the Pacific
Yeah,
Championship.
very
So
good year.
fantastic year for ladies curling.
That silver medal Olympics was won by Team Kim Un-jung. Team Kim Min-ji defeated Team Kim Un-jung for the right to represent Korea at this event. And very happily posing for selfies, the entire team with their fans. There's their gold medalists.
A very bright future. Still a couple of years in the juniors. So a young
Absolutely.
team.
Look out, world. Nose hits being exchanged here in the ninth end. Both teams also look to be saving a little time clock here, Rona. They're just going about their business, just throwing it up and down in this end. Nobody's really pressing yet. At some point, somebody will duck around that center guard. Who's it going to be?
That's why China need to keep this shooter in the head every time. They can't afford to roll out because Japan will come round the centre. But as you say, it's also saving time.
Tetsuro Shimizu's turn to play the hit. Pretty straight up and down in this ninth end after all of the excitement that we've had. This end feeling a bit pedestrian.
But what does that tell you? The 10th end's going to be very exciting.
And fasten your seatbelts. Go get your popcorn. Tuck the kids in. Let the neighbors know. It's going to be exciting.
Oh, is this going to be a hit and roll out?
Is it going to stick around? They're willing it to curl.
Oh,
It's creeping to the edge of the ring. And
oh,
out.
here we go.
Here we go.
Round the guard.
Wang Xiu just rolling out, so it's a shot for Tetsuro Shimizu. Wants to duck around that center guard. Set up the force for Japan. Maybe a steal.
Want to be top tee though.
Yeah, it's well by the guard as well, so they can't really sweep it yet. They do hide a corner, but they do slide behind the tee.
China wasting no time. Tap back weight, split it out.
Wang Xiu rolled out on his last one to give Japan the chance to go around that center. Much better shot this time by Wang. You gutsy enough to try a freeze on this shot? Nah, just hit it.
They could hit and roll better behind the cover.
They could. Yuta Matsumura making his way to the hack end to throw. Can't quite see all of it, but almost. He can certainly get to nose. Only has to roll, yeah, 2/3 of a rock width to get cover. When they hit it with the brushes, it just straightens it right out, so it just rides that line right down the rink and rolls into the open. So now it's Tetsuo Shimizu who must stay in the rings after making a hit here. China would love to blank this end, keep the last rock advantage into the 10th. Score your 2 after blanking. You're the gold medalist. What China doesn't want to do is score 1 here.
Matsumura's already left the head. He's not even waiting. They're quite short in time. So just being prepared.
Well, he knows what he's going to be playing.
He's already sitting in the hack.
That's right. It's either going to be a come around or a hit, and it's going to be a hit. Doesn't need to rush this, though. Japan's got plenty of time. It's an important shot to try and get a little bit of a roll behind cover and try to get that force. No roll here, right on the nose. So here we go. The dreaded blank attempt. China's been hoping to have this opportunity for the whole end. They do not want to score. They want to hit the Japanese stone and roll out to keep last rock advantage into that 10th and possibly final end. So that puts a lot of the weight on the shoulders of this man, Zhou Qiao, as Wang Shiyu is holding the target line. Needs to hit half the rock. No problem there. Nicely done by Zhou. China blanks. They will keep the hammer into the 10th end. The plan working out for China. Played for the blank. They got the blank. They've got the hammer in 10, trailing by 1 in this gold medal game. It's the men's gold medal game. We are live at the Gangneung Curling Center, the Olympic venue. It's the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. It is the classic situation in curling. China down 1 point in the final end with last rock. Hans Frauenlob here with Rona Howie. And Rona, we were talking during the break between ends. Very interesting to see how Japan approaches this 10th end, trying to defend against the 5 rock free guard zone.
Yeah, will they go all out to go for the steal, and they'll just block up the centre. And China will be trying to get out the wings, so it'll be a battle of
Battle of
Battle stone
nerves.
position here as to who's going to win it.
China puts a corner guard quite near the rings. If they'd wanted to, Japan could probably have tried to bump it onto the rings, but they're going to throw another guard.
Yeah, I mean, Japan could have put their first stone in the rings.
They could have.
But they're quite happy to put up the cover and force one here.
So,
Or steal.
yeah, 2 guards stacked for Shinya Abe. His very fine day continues. He's had an excellent game for Japan at lead. So Japan stating their intentions. Said, we're going to play around the center guards.
So stone positioning is absolutely critical for every single shot here. One slight error could cost you the match.
Always a lot of pressure on the lead players to set it up for their teams, but especially so in this situation. Gold medal game, 10th end. Jiang Dongzhu hoping this stone stops. It just fractionally slides past the tee line. Does that open the door for Japan?
It certainly does. We're back to the same piece of the ice where we had a bit of a straight run.
That's true. That 8th end was so entertaining, and there were so many rocks down this path in that 8th end.
But it is a chance for Japan to freeze right on top here and cause a bit
Absolutely.
of a problem.
If they lock one on here and get it lined up straight, life could be really difficult for China.
Certainly don't want to bounce.
Yasumasa Tanida wants to lock it on. Is it going to stop? Oh, just that fraction heavy.
Unlucky.
This is almost exactly what happened in the 8th end. Attempted freeze, fractionally heavy, bumps, flops a little bit in the open. We have seen this movie before.
We have. The opportunity is there for China to come to the inside of that red stone. And as you say, deja vu.
Deja vu all over again.
Bit of
This
running
one's
weight and it
tracking
hangs.
a wide line, exactly. No
But
inside flop.
round the corner. Oh, yep, nearly.
Well, maybe a corner.
Plan
hidden.
B.
Here we go. Matsumura, ignoring the yellow stone, says, let's get
So-
one front button right now.
As you say, front button has to be top tee here.
Yasumasa Tanida needs to take about 2 feet of weight off the stone that he just threw.
Because you do need to use the sweepers on this side to get the big bend at the end.
Absolutely right, Rona.
Needs to stop top tee.
Waiting for it, waiting for it. Better looking weight now. Now they can sweep it. Trying to take it front button. That's a beauty. Very nice shot. Yatsumasa Tanida makes the adjustment, sits at front button.
Perfect weight, but again, it's just not fully buried.
Yeah, they could have swept it a wee bit further.
A wee
China
teeny
now.
bit further. Yeah, China know they have to get this open.
Yep. Time to pull the chute, clear the centers.
The good thing for China is they do have 2 counters in the house.
Yes, they do. Potential savers. Clears 1, clears 2.
Oh,
Does jam him, loses one of his shooters. So a chance for Japan to get an overlap. That center stone. China didn't want that to be on the center line.
no.
Now Japan can just hide one, maybe a quarter behind it, and cover the path on both sides to the shot rock. Tetsuro Shimizu having an outstanding game.
So Shimizu needs to be erring on the shorter side here. Don't be heavy.
Yes, please don't be deep in the rings. Please be around the center guard. Please be just touching the center line. Please don't over curl. Just fractionally over curls. Got 3 of those pleases right, but not the 4th one.
No, it's given China the opportunity now to come in at a tap back weight, remove the top red and roll behind their corner.
Oh boy. This is the best opportunity China may have to try and set up their deuce that could win them the gold medal.
If I was a betting person, which I'm not, but if I was, I wouldn't know right now what way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, very difficult to pick who's going to win this game at this point of the 10th end. Wang Xiyu. They jump this one immediately out of hand. Boy, this is going to flirt with that center guard. Are they by? No, they wreck.
What a missed opportunity there for China.
Wow.
Oh.
Pushes the stone that he delivered into the path on the intern side as well, making the draw into the button area on the intern side much more difficult. You can see that Jiang jumped that stone right out of his hand. Knew he was a bit narrow. Tried their best to hold the line, but they just couldn't, and he grazes this center guard. And he nudges a Japanese stone into the rings as well.
Just that way, because they tightened the ice a wee bit, because they have had such straight results, it just took the curl a lot quicker.
The intrigue is building. 10th end, gold medal game.
Oh, sweepers are off this.
Wow.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, he's fine.
Well, they're worried about it over curling, I think, Rona.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine.
Oh, yeah. No panic necessary.
Perfect guard.
Tetsuro Shimizu, once again, making a very fine shot. Overcurled a bit with his first guard, but the second one's spot on.
China really need to get the center open. They have to score 1 to get an extra end.
Yes. You've been setting it up to think about winning the game right here with a 2, but at this point in the end, you're looking like, be pretty happy to go to an extra end.
Yeah, the yellow guard there you see on the left-hand side, that's blocked his intern draw as well
Exactly
to
right.
save the end.
Exactly right. Has to open something up. Wang Xiyu. Nose hit, straight back, jams. Improves the situation marginally in the sense that there's only 1 Japanese counter now.
But now Japan's worry is because there's a yellow out there that can be raised in for second shot to win the game, they need a second counter in.
So you can see where Matsumura's got the brush. What you're suggesting, Rona, is he needs to be deeper than that, because that yellow angle run, if China could ever get to the one on the button, you see that yellow stone on the right-hand side of our picture on the 4-foot circle. That could be the second counter that wins China the gold medal.
Even if they bring this in to top 4, as long as it's buried, and that if they went for the raise on the yellow, it would block it.
And this is not exactly a yawning chasm that Matsumura is trying to draw through either. It's a pretty narrow little forest of stones he has to navigate.
We've seen it's a difficult track.
Nothing yet. This one's tracking a bit. It's got a lot of moving to do. Waiting for it, waiting for it, waiting for it, waiting for it. It just doesn't curl. So they do get another one in there, but it is not second shot.
And the raise on the, it does stop that raise on the yellow.
It certainly stops the center raise. Abe saying, put it here. The guys are saying it's not curling enough yet, Shinya. We've got to wait for it to move. Hoping that it finishes, but it clips the red. But they're crucially taking away that yellow run back.
And he is lucky it did block the way to the shot.
Yes.
In theory.
怎么样？
Oh, he's going to go for the dead draw.
Well, well, well.
好，直接奔中间一找。
那个
Two
找
to
呢？
come for China.
啊，这个呢？这够不够？
1号找，1号不行找不着，把这个全打开。
够吗？这个。
Now looking at the angle run on the side guard.
直接把你找就行。
我踏板力量。
踏板。
不行，刮进去了。踏板力量往里传。
1:11 left on the time clock for China.
来吧。
看一眼啊。
给点吧。一半。
Yes.
将近一半。
Going to try to run in the angle. There we see the Japanese team. Satsuki Fujisawa forms some. Everybody's interested in how this one's going to turn out. Looks to us like Zhou wants to angle raise the yellow through the hole between the two reds in the front 12-foot towards the counter on the button. Just across the top of it, so close. Timeout being called by Japan.
Wow, that was so close.
That stone curls a millimeter, and that shot's made.
That could have been the game-winning shot.
Watch how close this was. Had to bump it between the two reds. He did that, but it just goes across the top of the shot. So close. What a great try.
So Japan really need to weigh up here. What do China have?
Yes.
How can China get two? And they need to stop it.
Or how can China even get one at this point?
同じパス来て、ここまで来ちゃっても悪い。
そうだね。同じとこ使ってここは悪くない。
I think you play it up higher, guys, because he's going to run it in, right? I think you just block that path up high, and he's going to try a slash or something, right?
They could remove that
This
yellow.
isn't here. That's not
あ、
there.
そう、こっちが開いちゃうとさ、これがあるんでね。ギリギリ。
I think just play the guard in the hole there, because he's got the straight through crotch for one, right? So straight through for one. So yeah, I think just guard up high there. Yeah.
さっきの幅どこだっけ？
Okay.
さっきの幅。
Coach Bob Ursel saying, just block up that path.
That's all.
これに半分かぶってるからでいいから。赤に。
If you were really brave, you could go through the reds, remove that yellow, roll out, and say, right, well, there's no way you're getting two to win the game.
Well, that's true.
How are you going to get one to even peel it?
The advice from Coach Bob Ursel, throw a long guard, just take that path away. You're going to leave your opponent something, but the something that you leave them, you want to be really hard. Don't really want this one to be anywhere near the rings. It's got lots of weight. The reason they don't want it to be near the rings is because Ursel said you put it there and he probably just runs it in.
Yeah, well played.
So it will be the yellow raise, and that's what's at stake. Maybe for this, the championship trophy. Question is, on this angle, can he get enough of the target rock to stick around for two? He can probably chip the red stone off, but can he stick the shooter for the win? Well,
It's very tight, but it is there.
So Jiao trying an angle raise takeout. Last rock of the 10th end on its way in this gold medal game. How's it going to turn out? Waiting for it to curl. Silence on the brushing. I don't know if he's got the line. No, he catches it thin. And Japan are the champions of the Pacific Asia curling region. Yuta Matsumura, Tetsuro Shimizu, Yasumasa Tanida, and Shinya Abe are your Pacific Asia champions. Final score is Japan 9 and China 7. Another fantastic gold medal game here at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. Fist pumps from Matsumura, waves to the fans. Another treat of a curling game. Handshakes from the coaches. Game played in great spirit. But Japan are your champions. Japanese teammates, Suzuki, Fujisawa, Yoshida from the Japanese women's team, silver medalists today, but their teammates are gold medalists. Japanese men winning the gold medal here in Gangneung. Very, very happy Japanese men's team. Japan, the champions of the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2018. Compliments from Coach Ursel. You played so good. Boy, did you ever, Yuta Matsumura. And the whole team. Tetsuro Shimizu, fantastic game. Thumbs up from Coach Ursel and a big smile from Yuta Matsumura, gold medalist. Happily signing this score sheet. Confirming that Japan are Pacific Asia champions. What a score line. Lots of twos, a three, stolen ends, drama, more than you can imagine. Play in the sixth end. 2 yellow stones. Sitting in the top ring, Yuta Matsumura. Just grazes going by. Trying the high-risk shot to score, and it's a huge steal for China. Seventh end, Japan bouncing back. Chance to score a pair here. Matsumura, no problem. Makes the nose hit, and that ties it up. In the eighth. Japan lying three. Final stone. So Chiao had a chance to sweep for a little graze off that stone, but it goes by. They were hoping it would stop, but it slides deep, and Japan steals. Huge steal. In the 10th end, Japan emerged the victors and Pacific Asia champions, 9-7 winners over China. Yuta Matsumura and company are Pacific Asia champions. Their names will be inscribed on that trophy. What a wonderful day for this Japanese team. Preparations for the closing ceremonies here in Gangneung after a thrilling tournament. We've seen some fantastic games today to wind up what has been a very successful Pacific Asia Championships here in the Olympic venue, the Gangneung Curling Center.
Well, what a fantastic final. What are your thoughts on that game?
这是一场很精彩的决赛，你现在有什么样的感觉？
感觉应该是我们做的还不够好，然后才导致输了比赛吧。但是对手同样打的也不错，然后我们回去会继续努力的。
We think we're not good enough, and the opponent play very well. The Japanese player, so we need a little more improve our skills.
You had a shot in the end there for 2 to win. What were your thoughts playing it?
最后一局你尝试打2分的球，是这样吗？
对，就是最后一局，我就是直接尝试打2分了。
Yeah, so last end they try to score 2.
Well, you are silver medalists. Congratulations. Thank you. Well, many congratulations. What a fantastic game of curling. How do you feel right now?
おめでとうございます。すごくいいゲームだったと思いますけども、今どんな気分ですか？
すごく、気持ちいい、すごく嬉しいです。
I'm more than happy.
What were your thoughts playing the last end? Did you want to force one or did you want to go for the steal?
ラストエンドは1点取らせるつもりだったか、それとも取りに行ったのか教えてください。
基本取りに行くつもりで攻めに行って、最後に決められて1点取られても仕方ないなと思ってました。
Yeah, we tried to steal the end. Yeah.
Well, you certainly did that. You're gold medalist of Pacific Asia Championship. You must be pretty proud of your team right now.
パシフィックのチャンピオンになって、自分も含めてチームをとても誇りに思っていると思いますけど、どうですか？
いや、今日もやっぱりチームメイトに助けられて、みんながいい仕事したから勝ったんだと思うんで、すごく誇りに思います。
Well, many congratulations. Enjoy the celebrations.
Okay. Yeah, everybody played well today, and Skip got a support, and he made a great shot, and we're happy.
Congratulations. Thank you. Sorry.
So that'll do it for us this week from Gangneung, the Pacific Asia Curling Championship. It's been a sensational week of curling. Glad you've joined us. For Rona Howie, I'm Hans Frauenlaub. Goodbye from Gangneung.